Klay Thompson is letting us know that the Warriors team is aspiring to be just as good as the 96 Bulls. Now, I have to preface this by telling Klay, the last time you compared the team to a historically great team, you lost the NBA Finals. You blew a 3-1 lead. And the reason I bring that up is because once a team that is in the current era starts comparing themselves to another era, they get out of the flow of taking care of business of now. They start looking at the future, they start looking at legacy instead of looking at the opponents they face now. So they're not looking at who they're facing tomorrow or, the first opening game of the season. They're seeing the future, like, okay, how am I going to be compared to, for this example, Ron Harper, Steve Kerr, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen? How is Curry going to stack up with his championships to Mike? And then in the interim of that, you lose sight of what's important, which is playing all 82 games, being healthy for the playoffs, and get to the NBA Finals and win the championship. So for Klay, I really hope that this is the first and last time we hear about this. Draymond Green, he wasn't really trying to compare his team to the 96 Bulls, which is crazy, great team, amazing team. The triangle offense was in full effect. Everybody was touching the ball, but it's sort of like the Warriors. The Warriors touched the ball. So in some aspects, Klay has great points that he makes, but the difference is the Warriors don't have the best player in the game. The best player in the game is LeBron James. And that's kind of where you gotta cut the comparisons. And another thing is, with the Warriors, they don't have that physicality factor, and they don't have the psychological factor that the Bulls had. Like, Michael Jordan used to scare people, like, straight up scare people. Scottie and Mike on the wings to lock people down. Dennis Rodman will play mind games with guys. When you look at the Warriors, in essence, Dennis Rodman is the one that Draymond Green is the guy that you can't control himself. And you saw in the finals a couple years ago, Steph got ejected, and Steve Kerr, sometimes he does lose his cool sometimes. And, he just couldn't wrangle his team in. I'm just talking about that 3-1 lead they blew. But in the other regards, when you look at the Warriors team, we've never seen a team with a four-headed monster. You have Draymond Green, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Stephen Curry. Four-headed monster that would dismantle almost any other team. Then, most of the NBA, in the NBA, we've seen teams where 1-2 punch, big threes. The Bulls are basically like a 1-2 punch, and then you got the triangle offense, and then you have the coaching. Big three, Miami Heat, Chicago Bulls, stuff like that. Kobe and Shaq, 1-2 punch. Never have we seen a four-headed Hydra. So, in this case, Klay should not compare himself to the 96 Bulls. What the Warriors have is something that the 96 Bulls didn't. They have 4 NBA All-Stars that can dribble the ball, pass the ball tremendously well, shoot the ball well, except for Draymond Green. But Draymond Green is a serviceable shooter. And no other team has had that. 4 players on the court that all can do basically the same thing, run the offense for you like clockwork, which is amazing. We've never seen that. And if you look at the Warriors' record in the past 3 years, they've won more games than any other NBA franchise. So they are on the cusp of greatness. And, Klay doesn't necessarily need to compare himself to, like, trying to win 6 championships in 8 years. Just focus on this year's championship, then the next year's championship. Let the history books fall how they may, because that's when the team starts thinking about other things and not focused on who they're facing right in front of them. And that's what caused them to lose the championship. We could be really talking about the Warriors right now three-peating. If they won 2015, if they didn't blow the 3-1 lead, back-to-back champions. Then if they come back, they're back-to-back champions. Everybody comes back better. Let's just say they don't get Kevin Durant. They have Harrison Barnes. He gets better. Everybody gets better in the system. They go through the progressions and they get even better. So, Klay doesn't have to necessarily compare his team to the 96 Bulls. Nobody's trying to hear that. You're the Golden State Warriors. Like, at the end of the day, you had the greatest playoff run ever, 16-1, surpassing Kobe's and Shaq's 15-1. So they're basically breaking records. They're breaking the NBA. That being said, don't compare yourself to the 96 Bulls, because one day, if you get to 6 championships, if you get to 7 finals or whatever the case is, people could actually put you past the 96 Bulls. And I know that's hard to say because they went 72-10 and won the ring, but you went 72-9, lost, came back, retooled, won 16-1. If you go 14-2, I mean, yeah, if you go 16-2, or if you do another 70-win season or something like that, we could be talking about the Golden State Warriors in a whole different light, maybe as one of the greatest, if not the greatest team of all time. Rules or no rules, if you allow a team to go 72-9, if you allow a team to go through the playoffs and only lose one game or not lose any, let's just say they sweep the whole playoffs, we're talking about something entirely different. You can't deny their greatness. So with Klay, I'll say pump your brakes on all that talk about the Bulls and focus on the task at hand. Let history fall how it falls. Right now, focus on who you got. This is Vlad Hoops Junction. Hoops meets Hoopla. Peace.